Hi, I'm Steph and I've decided to basically do some videos about midwifery. So I'm 27, I've got a 9-month-old and I'm married, and I've already got a degree in drama, which is nothing particularly related, and I currently work in a university doing admin, so this is a complete career change for me. So I thought the first video that I'd do was maybe about why midwifery, where I am now in my journey, that sort of thing. So I've written a few notes. So the first thing I've put is what led me to apply. So I've always been interested in midwifery. I've always been interested in like the journey of a pregnancy, and not just the physical side but the mental side and what a woman goes through. But I think I sort of talked myself into thinking that that interest was completely to do with wanting a baby myself. And also fear of doing something that does have a high rate of you not getting in the first year to uni, and then even if you get on the course, a lot of people drop out. And you know, the NHS, you hear all these things about changes that are happening, and you know, the role of the midwife diminishing, and so it's a scary thing to do, and I've put it off for a really long time. And then September just gone, my sister started her journey. Well, I say started, she'd already been doing an access course, but she applied for uni this September. And I think it was seeing her do it. She's married, she doesn't have any children yet, but she still has this, I suppose, a lot to lose like I do. And I think seeing her be so brave and going for it made me think, why am I not going for it? Why am I not doing it? But I was still scared. I just had a baby 3 months before, you know, we had a plan. We had a plan that I was going to go back to work. And then randomly, end of last year, an email came around from the midwifery team at my uni that I work at, saying, did anyone want to be a service user for interviews? And because I just had a baby and obviously I was interested in midwifery, I thought, why not? You know, I'm not a particularly outgoing person, I'm quite an introverted person. So that was quite a scary thing for me to do. I went there. I've had one interview so far that I've helped with, and I've got another one next week actually that I'm going to be helping out with. And I was chatting with these potential students, chatting with the midwives, chatting with the lecturers, and I think something just clicked. Something clicked, and I just realised, why am I not pursuing this? This is what I should be doing. I think I've always sort of had a calling for midwifery and I just ignored it. But helping out with those interviews and being around the midwives and chatting with everyone, it was like a big smack in the face. It was like a, why aren't you doing this? You're supposed to be doing this. So I went home and I put together a plan, and that was when I realised, right, okay, the sensible thing is to wait until I have my children, then apply. A lot of women do it later in life. I'm 27 now, so I would still be I'd be in my 30s. It's not ridiculous, you know. Although that said, you know, people apply in their 50s. So it seemed like a possible thing to do, you know. So that was my plan. And then I started booking onto some open evenings and open days, because I thought, you know, I need to get a sense of where I want to go, where I'm going to apply to. So my first open evening was in February, and that was at a different uni than the one that I'm going to be starting in September. But I went to that evening and I was immersed in the environment, you know, chatting about the experiences of the student midwives, and I felt this sort of pain in my heart almost, because I thought this is something that I would really be good at and something that I would enjoy and something that would make a difference in the world. How am I going to put off even attempting to do this for 3 years minimum? And I went home to my baby, fed my baby, sat down on the sofa, and I felt so elated, but at the same time I felt really defeated that I was going to wait. And I remember just chatting to my mother-in-law about it, and she just sort of said, why don't you apply for this year? And it's funny because I had this massive list of reasons not to. You know, my baby's 9 months old, you know, I'm on maternity leave at the minute, so we don't have any savings or anything, and, you know, all these big things. And then it just felt right. My heart just sort of jumped for someone to actually say that was a possibility, that wouldn't make me a bad mother to do that. So I spoke to my husband about it, and when we agreed that it could happen, it could be a possibility, I stayed up till 3 a.m. writing a personal statement. You know, it was exhausting. And then I sent it to my sister, she looked through it, my mother-in-law looked through it, my husband looked through it, got myself my reference, sent my UCAS application off. I applied to 1 uni originally, and then I added 2 more on. And I applied late. I applied end of February, so I wasn't really expecting any replies. What I was sort of hoping for is that maybe one of the unis would say, we loved your application, we'd love to give you an interview, but you're too late, so we're not going to give you anything. That was sort of a best case scenario in my mind. So when I got an email from Bedfordshire saying that they were inviting me for an interview, oh my god, I felt amazing. And later that day I got an email from another uni, Middlesex, saying that they were inviting me for tests. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was luck, because I know some unis that their places are so small they wouldn't have looked at my application because it was late. But so then I started preparing for the interview with my sister's help. We both prepared together, and the interview came. And I'll do another video about interviews and about writing personal statements and all that sort of thing. But the interview, you had a test bit first, and you did the test, and if you passed the test, you got through to the interview. And the tests, the English I found quite easy. The maths, I knew it was, if I'd got, essentially, I knew I'd got 3 wrong. And basically if I'd got 2 more wrong, which could have potentially happened, then that was it. I wasn't getting through to the interview bit. So that was really scary, and I think I really resigned myself to the fact that I wasn't going to get through, which in a weird way helped with my nerves, because when I found out that I'd got through to the interview bit, I was just on a high. I didn't even have a chance to be nervous about it. You know, as I said, I'll go into the detail more about that, but so the interview came and went. I was quite happy on the day. I felt that I'd done quite well. Obviously, I was kicking myself at certain things that I hadn't mentioned. But I came out the interview thinking, I've done myself justice, you know. I've done well. But, you know, you have no idea how many other people have done well, and you also don't know if all the other people that have done well are going to want their placement at the same hospital that you want. And obviously if they're better than you, then you're not going to get in. So we were told that we're here by the end of April, or if you were an exceptional candidate, that you would hear by the end of, and well, it just said you would find out whenever. And I think, I don't know why I did this, but I think the day after and the day after that, so my interview was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was non-stop on UCAS. I think, even though I knew they wouldn't send rejections out straight away, because I suppose in a way the people that had failed the maths and English were the rejections, but I don't know what I was looking for. And again, I'll go into more detail about this sort of thing at another point, but the day that I got my offer was the Monday, so it had been less than a week. Me and my husband were eating tea, feeding the baby. It was just such a normal situation. I was feeling a bit down that day about my weight, because I'm trying to lose weight at the minute, and I got an email. Oh, it was the day that I went for Middlesex tests, which I really liked. Middlesex University, it was really nice, and I quite enjoyed the tests as well, weirdly enough. So I got an email saying that UCAS had updated, and my immediate thought was, because I was the only person on that day that as far as I could see, that was doing midwifery for the tests at Middlesex, I thought maybe they'd just managed to mark them really quick. So I was expecting that hopefully it might say you were invited to an interview. So I logged into UCAS, and oh my god, I honestly can't describe how it felt when I saw Bedfordshire University BSc Midwifery unconditional offer. I just started crying. The baby, who I was breastfeeding at the time, looked at me in complete confusion. He looked like he was going to start crying because I think he thought I was upset or something. And my husband didn't know what was going on. I had to pass him my phone so he could look. And it was just the most amazing moment. And I guess that's sort of where we are now. I've got an offer to Bedfordshire. It's unconditional, subject to me passing occupational health and my DBS and providing references. And I'm currently dealing with the minefield that is student finance. But that's where we are at the minute.